Good afternoon and welcome to New Forest Morphs. Today we are going to be looking at our next project, which is the Desert Ghost Clown project, and I want to introduce you to Bozo, who is our stud boy that we bought last year, and he is looking really good. And I think from memory, Jared, we bought him from Jay at JVR Reptiles and Racks, and he's a beautiful example of a DG. I think he's a pastel DG. If you look carefully at his beautiful, he just shed out yesterday, and we had a few problems getting him on food, didn't we? He lost a bit of weight and then he regained that weight, so he's not as big as the other boys. So I think he's going to take a few more months before he's ready to go. Boys need to be about 600 or 700 grams before you start breeding with them, and it's important to have that size because they need to be sustained through the breeding period. Boys can go off food when they're breeding because they're so preoccupied with breeding that they don't want to feed, but we've been very lucky because last season most of our boys carry on eating, Chad. I don't think anything really switched off. So I think there's this little head stamp. Now the reason we know he's got pastel is because, can you see the white head stamp there? It brightens up the head stamp, and what pastel does to Desert Ghost, it makes the whole thing pop. Desert Ghost is a cleansing gene, so it mainly means that you can clean up a lot of the alien heads, and you can see there's very little. See how clean his body is? Now if you compare him with a normal snake, you'll see that there's a lot more granules and a lot more what would be the word I'm looking for, Jared?
Pixelation?
Pixelation. There's more pixelation, but if you look how clean that body is, just look how there's hardly any pixelation on him at all, so you end up with beautiful clean colours. So the Desert Ghost is very much a cleaning gene, and the Hypo, Jared, is a very much cleaning gene as well. And Desert Ghost and Hypo have their similar qualities. They're very good at cleaning up things. So the current thinking is people are putting Hypo and Desert Ghost into their clown projects, because one of the problems with the clown is that as it gets older it can brown out. Now we've got a clown that we produced 3 years ago called Linnea, and if I bring her out and just show you what she looks like, you'll see that she's a beautiful snake, but she is starting to brown out a little bit. Now, let's have a little look at her. She's ready to breed. We're hoping to get a clutch of eggs from her this coming season. She's 2,000 kilograms, 2,000 grams now, 2 kilograms now.
That's a lot of weight.
But she's a good size, and so we want to put the right boy to her. Now we could end up putting this boy to her if we wanted to, because he is 100% het for clown. And what that would do is it would get some visual clowns, half of them, because he's carrying the het clown. If you put a het clown to a clown girl, half of the clutch should be clown. But also there'd be 100% het for Desert Ghost, and half of them would be pastel. So that would be quite a clever way of getting into the Desert Ghost clown combos. But we've got other options as well, Jad, haven't we? Because we've bred some other Desert Ghosts over the last couple of years that are ready, so we can put him to some Desert Ghost girls, which we're probably going to do that. But there's an option for her. We could use him. We've also got the Sunset Enchi Orange Dream, who's het for Sunset, but he's also het 50% het for Clown, but he's got the Clown markings on him. Now we may want to use this girl for the Sunset project. You pull him out, Joe. You can see how he's doing.
He's in shed.
Is he in shed?
About to.
Yeah, but I think he's got the het markings. Can you see the dripping on his side? And he's got quite a few het markers on him, so I'm hoping he will prove out. And the only way to prove out without getting a shed test is to put him to one of the clown girls. So we might use this for the Sunset project. We were lucky enough to have 2 female clowns, Jared, and they're both ready for breeding. So we have 2 options here, because this girl here, Lucky, is also the sister of Linnea, and actually these snakes were named by my grandchildren, and we've had the grandchildren over this morning, and we did a snake discovery school, and they were fantastic. I mean, they're quite young, but their knowledge was amazing, and they were getting so many questions right. They helped with the cleaning, they helped with the naming of the snakes, and they just learnt so much about the reproduction system of snakes and how it all works. So it was quite educational, and I think it was lovely. So this is Lucky, and we called her Lucky because she's got a horseshoe on her head, and that's and I think also the grandchildren named it. So we're very blessed to have grandchildren that are very interested in this hobby. So we could use one for the sunset and one for the clown project here. So let's have a look at some of the desert ghosts that we've carefully been breeding for the last 3 years. Now we've been very blessed to have 2 desert ghosts. We've got Rambo, who's a Enchy desert ghost boy, and he probably is carrying Cryptic as well. And we've got another girl called I think it's, let's just have a look, Chad. I think it's over here. I'll bring out the desert ghost over here, Jared. So it's this one over here. So Isa, she gave us a clutch, and she's gone back on food. She's rebuilding. Enchy desert ghost girl. You can see the granulation in her, but by putting desert ghost into that will clean up that big time. And she's doing really well. But she has given us some babies, and those babies are quite incredible because we've already created triple hets ready for this boy when he's up to size. Now if we go over here, we'll show you Rambo. Rambo is our Enchy desert ghost boy that wants to eat. He definitely wants to eat. He's got amazing eating instinct. But he's the equivalent of the girl, Isa. And we got them from Europe. It was Van Haren Reptiles, who's a very strong reptile breeder with high quality genetic that's known to have hidden Cryptic in his collection. So we are hoping that we've ended up hitting some triples. And let's have a look and see how those triples are doing. If I put Bozo back and then bring out some of our triples, we can see Bozo will need probably another 6 months before he's up to size, Jared. So
this is water bowl.
Oh, that's his water bowl, sorry. And clutch number 2, we've ended up with some amazing snakes. And I think we've sexed them as well, Jared.
Yep, they're all sexed and
all sexed now.
Labelled up.
So let's bring out your favourite, which is, we've nicknamed Nikki.
The anaconda.
This is the anaconda. And she's doing really well, eating really well. Let's have a look and see how that one's
she's in shed.
Going into shed. But she's about 120 grams now. And now she's carrying leopard. I think it's leopard.
Super Enchy.
Super Enchy leopard. And I believe she's carrying the Het DG and the Het Clown.
And so, possibly Het Cryptic.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to be able to produce a desert ghost clown boy to go to these. And that way our odds of hitting a multi-combo desert ghost. Now we don't have a visual desert ghost boy. They're about £3,000 when you buy them. And it's a lot of money to spend. So we're trying to produce one. So what we'll probably look at doing, Jared, is we'll probably need to find a double het DG clown girl that's quite big and mature. We were able to pick up a DG Pieds, two last year. We were also able to pick up DG
Het Clown.
Or an ultramale het clowns, double hets. So there are animals out there. I think the double het DG clowns are going to be a struggle to get. So we may have to just produce our own and grow them up. And that's why we've done this. These are the double hets or triple hets, because they could have Cryptic as well. So it will take a couple of years before they're up to size. But we could plug in Bozo, because he'll be big enough to breed with them. And then we could have a much better chance of hitting our DG clowns with all the extra combos, leopard, Enchy in there. So let's see what other genetics we've got going on that goes into this project.
The one underneath that one's pretty.
Okay. So we've got Olympia, Enchy lesser leopard, triple het, clown, Cryptic and DG.
She almost already looks DG.
She's clean as a whistle, isn't she? Isn't she beautiful? So that's really nice. She's eating incredibly well. I think she's had 12 meals, Jared, and she's probably about 120 grams. And she's a girl, so we've been blessed on the odds on this clutch. Quite a few girls, Jared. But she's a well, hopefully a triple het if she's carrying Cryptic.
Definitely a double het.
Yeah.
Possibly a triple.
Yeah. So she's called Olympia, because she was born in an Olympic year, and she's carrying the Olympic flame on her head. So that's why we called her Olympia, because she's got the Olympic flag. So let's just have a wee look at her. There she is. Can you see the Olympic flag on her head stamp? Isn't that lovely? There we go. Right, let's have a look and see what else we've got.
To the left of her is a nice one as well.
Okay. And we've got another girl here. So we've ended up having at least 3 girls in this clutch, which is really what you need, because when you're hitting the odds, the more girls you have, the odds move in your favour. Meaning that if you get 8 eggs on each girl, and there's 24 eggs, and you've got a boy that is a visual desert ghost that's het for clown, the chances of actually hitting a desert ghost clown actually go in your favour, because you've got 3 girls that are going to be producing more eggs, if you see what I'm saying, Brad. So it's actually worth holding onto an army of girls to help you produce what you need to produce. So this one, Jared, we think is a...
This is not the one I was thinking about.
This is a pastel leopard.
Pretty snakes.
Triple het.
It's the one above her. It's
the one
I
above.
think's really nice.
Okay, let's get that one out.
That's a beautiful snake either way though.
It really is. The one above is a male.
Yeah, he's the one. I think his name's Forrest.
Forest. Okay, let's get in. So this one's a boy.
This one, I really like this one.
Yeah. So let's have a look at him and see how he's looking. So this one's got the leopard lesser, and I think when you look at the marks on this, and I think let's just bring him out and put him on the table, Jared. You can get some nice video with him. Get the light on him. I think leopard and lesser are a great combination, Jared. And I think you can see how beautiful, mixed with pastel as well. It really makes the whole animals really, really pop. So what we've done here is we've got 3 codoms going in here. We've got the Enchi going in there, and I think there's at least 4 different codems going into the DG Clown project. But before we wait for these girls to get too big, Jared, what we've done is we've done our homework and we've produced some much bigger females that will be able to breed next season, and I'm going to bring you out those. These are het desert ghost girls that are carrying genetics that we like, and I believe it's fire and Enchi, isn't it, that we've got going into these bigger girls.
Yeah.
So while they're growing on, it doesn't stop us from using our boy, because we've got Ember, and she had 10mm follicles last season. Unfortunately, they didn't actually go the whole way. So what we've done is we've kind of let her, but she's reabsorbed. And now if you look at her, she is actually packing on some great weight. She's going into deep shed, so that's good. But she would probably be getting close to 1800 grams, Chad. So what I'll do is I'll just get the scales. And let's weigh some of these potential girls. Now, if we put the scales on here, Jared. That's lovely.
She's well over. She's going to be 18.
Do you think she might even be 2 kilograms maybe?
Close to, yeah.
Yeah. She's 3 years old, I think.
2034.
2034, so she's hit the 2000 plus mark. And this is what you want when you put a girl to a boy. You want them to be chunky, you want them to be that level of strength, and you stand a better chance of producing a clutch. If you get a girl that's too small and a bit lean, she could get slug out or absorb or reabsorb. So I think these are the ones we're excited about. Now by putting that boy to her when he's ready, we can end up hitting Enchi, fire, desert ghosts, visuals, which would be lovely to see those, because the fire and the Enchi are brightening genes.
Pastel as well.
We've got pastel in the mix, so you get fire, Enchi and pastel are beautiful. We've seen how beautiful they are. But imagine getting that in a desert ghost, which is going to be 100% het for, or will it
50%.
be 50% het for clown. So we'll have to shed test those. Half of the clutch will be 100% het for clown. So we'll have to spend a bit of money, but it'll be well worth it, because the DG Clown project is very valuable. A multiple DG Clown, 4 or 5 grand is what you pay nowadays if you want those codoms in. So it's well worth spending £70 on a shed test to work out what you've got, and that's the benefit of doing it. So when you've got the potential for really, really high-end snakes, the shed test comes into its own. It's a no-brainer, Jared. So there's one. Now we were blessed not to have one, but we've actually got a couple of these, which is building up the army of getting our odds right. Now, if we go in and have a look here, we've got so we've got Ember. This one was called Vesto now. Now she hopefully is not in shed. She might be going into shed, but they're eating well. But now you can see how beautiful, So should we see how beautiful she is? So this is the Inchy Fire, and she must be close to 2 as well.
2014.
2014, so they've both hit the 2K. We've still got a couple of months before they need to start breeding. So they've got more than enough weight on them and size to start breeding. It's whether they want to go. The nice thing is that we've given them 1 meal every 2 weeks, and they are taking medium-sized rats, is what they're taking. They have the potential to take larger rats, but we don't want to push them up, because if you push up a girl too fast, too quick, the stress levels go up and they won't produce the eggs for you. They may reabsorb because they will turn down food, and they won't want to breed, or it's dangerous to breed a stressful animal. So the key is, when you're preparing your animals, even though it's exciting to keep pumping food into them to get them up to size, the danger is that you will give your snake a stress issue, and with stress their tolerance to various diseases goes down, and they're more likely to catch a disease. So it's much better to take a nice steady approach, give them a couple of weeks to digest, give them a decent sized prey item so they'll still put on weight, but give them a cycle to rest, bring the stress levels down and up. That's the thing that I think a lot of breeders don't realise, that how much stress they put their animals under. And not to overhandle the snake. So if you want good breeding, you don't overhandle them, and you don't expose them to too much light. You let them rest in peace and let them just do their thing and just enjoy them, and then you'll hopefully get a nice clutch. So that's the second girl that's also carrying het for DG. So
battery's low, by the way.
Okay, we might lose you very shortly, but we're almost ready for lunch, Jad.
Yeah, I think Grandma just called me.
Now we do actually have a couple of other DG girls that we're building. They're not quite up to the same size, but they're the 2 that I think we'll be using for this coming season. Well, I hope you enjoyed the project. The one thing we did forget to mention is there are, in the Ultramel video yesterday, there have been some lovely comments, and one of our supporters has suggested putting het red exantic into the Ultramel, and I think that could be an amazing combination. So thank you for that suggestion, and thank you for supporting our channel. We also have a couple of girls. While we're up here, let's have a quick look at Costa. We forgot to bring her out, Jad. I can probably pull it out, but Costa is a het Ultramel girl. And if I just bring her out, I can show you how well she's preparing. She's carrying 2 genes that are actually part of the Bell complex. So she is a blue-eyed Lucy. She's going into shed as well, Jad. But let's weigh her and see what she weighs. But the 2 genes that she's carrying are Mocha and I believe it's Mojave, Jad.
Yep.
So let's just see, what have we got on the weight on that one?
1836.
1836. So she's always been a good eater.